Hello there, beautiful people. Good to see you all again. We're into springtime, so I hope you're starting to enjoy life a little bit. But today's video is are things falling in place or feel like they're falling apart? Sometimes in our life, um, any changes that are going on in our lives, whether they're good uh, or whether they're bad, they can create internal stress. Stress can come from wonderful things happening in our lives, you know, um, because and wonderful things are happening. We stress sometimes that we don't want those things to end. And then sometimes there's life itself, okay? We have to accept the fact. You're stuck in a traffic jam, you've got a meeting in 30 minutes, and you know you're not going to be arriving for 45 minutes. But whatever it is, good things as well as, bad things that happen in our life, they can create a stress because we're human, each and every one of us. Um, Although we've all taken a different path, there's no two of us that have experienced the same journeys of life. Yes, we've crossed paths, we've had moments that we can all relate to. But the truth is, this is our life. And for each of us, it's totally unique. So the ability to be able to handle changes. As I said, changes, and I've seen it. Um, we've all gone through it. Changes aren't always a bad thing, and yet we stress about them. Okay, we find stressors in things that we wish we had done better, um, which are called the past. Those history lessons in our lives, those have to be let go. There's not one thing you can do about it. And then we have the stressors in our life that are future events that in our mind we don't even know if they're going to happen. Okay. And we have to find the perspective of now. You hear me talk about that all the time. Um, I'll always remember, um, I was blessed. I actually got to meet Mother Teresa um, once in Charlotte, North Carolina. And she has a wonderful quote. I know that God never gives me more than he knows I can handle. But sometimes I just wish God didn't trust me so much. Um, so yes, you and I can handle anything that comes our way. Anything that you might be fearful of, we can handle that. You know, remember, you were created in God's own image, so you've got the power. Okay, within your soul, you've got the power to control the mind and the body. But again, the question that I propose to you, and I'd love to hear comments and responses. Thanks for all of you that are doing comments and responding to some of the videos. But how do you handle stress? The good or the bad? How do you control that? It's perspective. Everything in life is about perspective. How do you perceive your current reality? Why do you fear things you can't change that you've done in the past? Why do you worry about a future that's promised to none of us? Today is all we have. This is it. So I prefer to think that everything's falling in place. Okay, that my journey's unique, just as yours is. Let's relish in the now, in the moment. Let's have a perspective that, yeah, God didn't give us more than we can handle, that we can get through these things together as a community. Uh, it does take um, all of us working together. How do I handle stress? Well, I'll just share some of the things that I do. Okay. First of all, I acknowledge it. I don't try to run from it, hide from it. I'm not afraid of it. I know that my body well enough and confident enough in my body to know when I'm feeling a stressful situation. I try to just slow down, first and foremost. I try to stop, um, take a deep breath, put it into perspective, and most importantly, acknowledge it. You know, it might be a simple trip into my gym in which I just need to work out the physical body that gives me relief. I know artists, dancers, musicians, and that can be a beautiful relief for them. Sometimes it is music for me. Sometimes it's changing the music that I'm listening to so that it is a little more peaceful and allows my mind uh, get rid of the crazy thoughts that keep running back and forth. It allows my body and my mind to kind of connect. In my form of meditation, meditation works for most people, really, that are experiencing stress. If they'll just slow down long enough to take moments to themselves. And most importantly, I know me. I know who I am. And I know that I will handle it in my own way. Whether it's in music, whether it's in starting a new painting, whether it's in writing, whether it's honest, just sitting in the sunshine and enjoying a beautiful day, which of course I love to do. And now with springtime arriving, there's going to be more time for that. Sometimes it's simply getting out into nature and reflecting. Sometimes it might require a trip to some place that you really enjoy, you know. Maybe it's another trip to the ocean. Maybe it's moving to the ocean, if that's where you're most peaceful. But learn to know yourself and accept it, okay? Because the more you know about you and the more that you believe in the power of you, and the more you'll accept just now, this very moment, to just quiet the mind. As powerful as our minds are, I find that sometimes they can be just as deadly. You know, they run rampant if we don't try to control them. and they'll come up with every scenario that the ego can can possibly imagine, whether good or bad or ugly, to keep us from focusing on now, that one thing right now. So I try every day. I don't just try, I do every day, and I hope you do too. I find the thing that I'm most excited about as I wake up, and I say, "Thank you, Lord, for this day. May I make the best of it." I find something I'm excited about that I want to accomplish during that day. And then I focus on me. Focus on yourself is not selfish, it's actually necessary. Because until you truly love yourself and accept who you are, you can't give out love. Not truly. So I love myself because I know I was created in God's image. So that's a pretty good thing. So know yourself. Keep everything in life into perspective. But if you've got a special way that you're able to handle your stress, then I'd love to hear about it. Okay? But the most important thing is don't let the stress you out. Okay? Stress is just a normal part of life. As I said, good things, beautiful things that are getting ready to happen can create stress. Why? Because we don't want to mess them up. We got some wonderful things planned. We want it to go just perfect. So we try our best to make sure there's no fly in the jelly jar, as you've heard me say. Um, and then bad things will occur that are going to be out of your control that you just have to acknowledge and accept and just deal with. Not emotionally, but logically. Okay? And then I find that communication is a powerful way for me to control stress. If there's someone I love, something happening that I really care about, I'm okay communicating that. And I hope you will be too. Don't be afraid to tell the truth. If you hurt, you hurt. Okay? If you're sorry, you're sorry. You don't have to live in all of that. Just love yourself today. Find something today that you're extremely grateful for and hold on to that. And with that, I say welcome springtime. And I'm looking forward to summer. So, with that, I say, as always, as a sign off, this is Rodney Shropshire. Again, thank you for taking the time to share the day with me. Peace, love, dove. Please let me know how you deal with stress. Leave your comments, and may God bless you all.